Hi everyone, and here I am again, and all this silliness shall ensue. Welcome to the Amanzi block, and if you've downloaded the pattern, you will have possibly read on my blog that Amanzi means water in Zulu, and that this is a large tribute square to the wildfires that devastated a small, very tight-knit community in a place called Knysna, which is a rather magical place in South Africa. But if you haven't read the blog post, then you can pop over to www.hooksandtails.blogspot.com and you can read up about beautiful Knysna and why I've dedicated this large block as a tribute to the strength, I think, of humans and nature to survive all sorts of terrible disasters. Anyway, so without further ado, as I usually do, we're going to start with a magic loop. And I was thinking yesterday about why I always use 8. I'm always crocheting 8, this or that, into that magic loop. And I think the reason is because when you turn the figure 8 on its side, it is in fact a symbol, an infinity symbol. So that might be the reason. I think it's the yin-yang, the light-dark, so it's quite a mystical number, and for some reason I always use it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start by making a magic loop and then working 1, 2, 3, 4 chains around that. And so that 4 chains is equal to 1 treble, and we're going to do treble 2s together and a chain 1. Okay, so then we're going to do 8 of these 2 trebles together into our magic ring. So like that, quite simple. As I've said before, these squares are not really for beginners, but the stitches are pretty easy. I think beginners would be able to figure it out. There are lots of video tutorials that can also help along with that. And these videos also obviously are meant to be a guide. Okay, so you're going to work 8 treble 2 together into your magic loop, and I shall see you at the end of this round. Okay, so to close, I'm going to slip stitch directly into the top. It's a bit of a squeeze into the top of that first treble 2 together. So we're going to have something that looks like this. Okay, just pull that through. Just give it a little snip. So what you're going to have is 8 trebles 2 together, or 2 trebles together. Okay, you're going to pull that through, pull that nice and tight. Okay, so it's 16 trebles in all, if you just make sure. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 10, 12, 14, 16. I always count twice because, when I'm crocheting I get quite carried away. I start thinking about other things and then I end up doing an extra. So there you go. Okay, just do that. I'm not sure, the light is a bit funny today. It's very, very bright, and so I had to close my curtain. Okay, so that is the end of round 1. And I shall see you at round number 2. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention in the last round was that this is Stylecraft Special DK and the colour is lime, unless I'm mistaken. It's lime. It looks like lime, doesn't it? Nice bright green. And of course I'm going to use a different colourway to the one that I showed in the pattern pics. And you know, so you have a few choices. So I am going to sort of give a shout out to the colours as I go along. Okay, so now the second colour that I'm using is raspberry. It's so gorgeous. I have to tell you, these Stylecraft colours, honestly, my camera just does not do them justice. They are divine. They're so vibrant and so delicious. Anyhow, so let's get on. Enough of the idle chit chat. So now what you're going to do is going to work a popcorn. Okay, popcorn, your 5 double crochets. So in the pattern pages in the beginning, when I give the general information, I did put up a conversion chart there for UK and Australian crocheters, because I know that they generally go one up. So, you know, this is a double crochet in US terms. I always use US terms. But in UK and Australian terms, this would be a treble, I think. Okay. So anyway, the conversion chart is at the beginning, so you can, you know, always just check back. Okay, so we're going to work popcorn in between those yummy lime green treble 2 together. Okay, so now you've done a popcorn, you do a chain 1 to close. Okay, chain 1 to close that popcorn, and then you're going to chain 2, and you're going to do a popcorn. Okay, like that. I'll just go through with you, do another one. So I'm going to kind of make the videos shorter so that they're not so long and laborious. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course you slip into the last one, close with the chain 1 and chain 2. Okay, so you're going to work popcorn in between, so between every 2 trebles. So you should end up with 8 popcorns and 8 chain 2s, and I'll see you at the end of this round. Okay, you got that? Simple, hey? Okay, so here we are at the end of round number 2 with our delicious raspberries. These look so, they look so yummy. I almost want to eat them. Okay, and to close, you're going to slip stitch into that kind of joining space, you know, at the back of your popcorns there. Oh, very convenient. Okay, so I'm going to just snip that off, and you can work in your tails if you like, or you don't have to. I generally like to leave my tails in for a bit or dangling for a bit, just in case I've made a mistake. And look how pretty that looks. Okay, don't get quite carried away with yarn. You know, I could just look at it all day. So there you go. I hope it seems to be a bit strange, my focus. Not really sure what's going on there. So I'm going to go up a little bit. Okay, let's give you a better look. Right, and that's your back. Okay, so we shall carry on to round number 3. And round number 3, I'm going to use, you know, I'm just kind of randomly choosing colours here, as I tend to do. So you're going to be working just kind of what I call my anchor round, but I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Okay, so I'm not really sure why my camera is going out of focus. That's what I hate about these automatic cameras. They just do whatever they feel like. Okay, so now we have those 2 single crochets. Okay, 2 single crochets into the 2 chain spaces. Then we're going to chain 3 like that, and we're going to do 2 single crochets into that chain 2 space from the previous round, and we're going to chain 3, and we're going to do 2 single crochets, chain 3, chain 3, chain 3, chain 3, yep, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and I shall see you at the end. You're just going to slip stitch into your beginning single crochets. Okay, you can just slip stitch between the 2 of them. Okay, so you're just going to carry on like that, and there you go, can you see? And I'll see you at the end. Okay, excuse me. So what I've done is I've gone all the way around. So 2 single crochets, 3 chains, 2 single crochets, 3 chains into those chain 2 spaces from your previous round, and then I did a slip stitch kind of between the first and the second. Okay, so into the second, you know, technically speaking, into the second crochet slip stitch. You're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space, yarn over, and going to do yarn over 3, chain 1, plus another chain 1, puff. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, going to pull that through, chain 1 to close, and an extra chain 1. Okay, then you're going to 1, 2, 3, call these my mini puffs. Okay, so you missed a bit of drama here. I think in the last videos I was still saying that you know, I live in a very busy neighborhood, and if I suddenly cut the video, it's because something crazy has been happening outside. Okay, so we're on to round number 5, and I'm just going to recap quickly. And what we're doing is we're working 3 puffs, 3 little puffs, which is yarn over times 3, chain 1, plus an extra chain 1. We're working into those chain 2 spaces. Okay, so you're just going to carry on like that. So you're just going to work like that. So you do chain close, extra 1, 1, 2, 3, like so, and an extra chain. Okay, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Okay, just going to keep on going around like that. Right, 1, 2, 3. I'd much rather be crocheting with you, but then the videos would just take absolutely forever, wouldn't it? Okay, so it's going to look like that. I hope you can see. Okay, and I shall see you at the end of this round, which is round number 5. Okay, so here we are at the end of round number 5, and I've done my last puff and chain 1 to close, plus that extra chain 1, and then you're just going to slip stitch into the top of that first puff to close off like that. Okay, that's pretty simple. And snip off your yarn through. Okay, so if you hear train whistles in the background, can you hear it? It's quite a historic day in South Africa today. We are having a national vote, well, it's in Parliament, against our President, Jacob Zuma. So, in fact, the country has come to a standstill, and people are protesting and marching on Parliament, and of course the train driver is showing his support by whizzing past on the railway line and honking his train horn. Would that be the right expression? Honking his train horn. But anyway, we know what side of justice he is on, and obviously that's the right side. Okay, so for some reason my camera keeps on going out of focus, and I'm not really sure why. Might have something to do with my nice new vintage table. But anyway, I hope you can see what I've done there. Okay, so that's the end of round 5, and I shall see you at the beginning of round number 6. Okay, so 2 things. I've actually put a background onto my table in the hopes that I can get better focus here. I'm not quite sure why my camera is doing what it's doing, but it does look a little bit out of focus. But of course it could also be my glasses. Okay, so this is actually round number 5. I said round number 6, didn't I? I'm always getting those rounds mixed up. So you see, it's because I'm distracted by the train driver. He sounded so cheerful, and it reminded me of Thomas the Tank Engine. So you see. Alright, so we finished round number 4, not round number 5. We finished round number 3 and 4, kind of 2 together. Okay, can you see there? And now we're going to whiz on to round number. This does look very out of focus. Okay, I'm just going to play around a little bit here. Nope, still not really sure why. Okay, so the colour I'm using next is, in fact, one of my favourite colours. It's called Buttermilk, and it's a Stylecraft colour. Okay, and we're going to be working into the second, well, in fact, I suppose it's the first single crochet after, I beg your pardon, the first chain after your first puff. What you're going to do is you're going to begin there with 2 half double crochets. So, you know, you clever crocheters out there will probably start with your standing alone stitches, but I'm just going to do 2 chains, which is equal to 1 half double crochet. I'm going to work another half double crochet into that space. Okay, so begin with 2 half double crochets into the chain 1 space after the first puff. Okay, then you're going to do a single crochet front post over the next puff, and you're going to work 2 half double crochets into that next chain 1 space. You're going to work a single crochet front post over the next puff, like that. Okay, and then you're going to do a treble front post all the way down here, like so. I'm going to work that treble crochet front post. Okay, and you're going to go straight into a single crochet front post over that previous what am I talking about? Over the first puff of the next set of 3. You're going to do 2 half double crochets, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet front post, 2 half double crochets, okay, 1 single crochet front post. So basically you're going to be working a single crochet front post over each of those puffs. Then you're going to do a treble, 1 treble front post like that, all the way into your 2 trebles together from round number 1. You're going to do a single crochet front post, 2 half double crochets, 1, 2, single crochet front post, 2 half double crochets, okay, single crochet front post, and a treble around those 2 trebles together from round 1. Okay, so I think I'm a bit concerned about my camera. Tell you the truth, I don't really know how this is working out on that side. If you can see clearly what I've done there. Okay, so it's going to look something like that. Well, I mean, it's not going to look something like that, it is going to look like that. Okay, so I shall see you at the end of this round, which is round number 5. Okay, so here I am at the end of round number 5, and we're going to close off, done that treble front post over the 2 trebles together, and to close this we're just going to do a single crochet front post and then slip stitch into that first single crochet, half double crochet, and we're just going to fasten off nice and tight there. Okay, so your piece will look like that. And just to recap, it's 2 half double crochets into the chain 1 spaces between the puffs, and it's 1 single crochet front post over each of the puffs, and 1 treble front post over the 2 treble together in your first round. So that is the end of round number 5, and I shall see you at the beginning of round number 6. Okay, so I've sewn in my tails, and here we are at the end of round number 5, and we're going to go on to round number 6. And the colour I'm going to use is raspberry again. Oh my gosh, it's such a happy colour. I've also been fiddling around with my camera and fiddling around with trying a different backdrop to sort of get more focus, but when I checked the videos they did look okay, so maybe it's just my eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in that chain 1 space kind of between the sets of 3. So you've got 1, 2, 3 puffs, so that's from round number 4, and then you had that sort of chain 1 space before you went on to your next 3. So you're going to be working into that space like that, and what we're going to do is we're going to work a single crochet, and then we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to just carry on working 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single crochet into that chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single crochet into that chain 1 space. So you can see that's pretty simple. Just going to work your way around, and I shall see you. Do not fasten off because you're going to be using the same color. Okay, so just carry on like that, and then I shall meet you at the end of this round. And here I am at the end of this, and you're just going to work a slip stitch into that first double crochet, into that first single crochet that you did into that chain 1 space. Now you're going to slip stitch into the chain 5, and you're going to chain 3. So 3 is equal to 1 double crochet, and then you're going to work another double crochet and another double crochet. Okay, and then chain 2 and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 into that same chain 5 space. Then you're going to do a single crochet into the single crochet. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Then you're going to do 3 double crochets into the next chain 5 space. You're going to chain 2 and 3 more double crochets. 1, this is number 2, number 3, and you're going to single crochet right into that single crochet, and you're just going to continue like that. So it's basically 6 double crochets and 2 chains. These are 2 chains, and another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll have that effect. And single crochet directly into that single crochet that you made over the chain 1 space. And that is basically round number 7. Okay, so round number 6 was the single crochets and the 5 chains, and round number 7 you're working in those double crochets and the 2 chain spaces. Okay, and I shall see you at the end of round number 7. Okay, so I've ended round number 7, so you're sticking to the same color for rounds number 6, 7 and number 8. So we're going into round number 8, and I've done a slip stitch into the beginning chain, so the 3 chains, which is equal to 1 double crochet, and we are here at round number 8. So what you're going to do is you're going to chain 2, okay, then you're going to work 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, like that, and you're going to chain 2 and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 into that same chain 2 space. You're going to chain 2. Okay, so it's going to look like that, and you're going to slip stitch into the top of that last double crochet. In fact, of the 3 there's 3 double crochets, so number 3 you're going to slip stitch into that, and then you're going to do a single crochet into the single crochet. You're going to slip stitch into the first double crochet of your next 3 into the chain 5 space. You're going to chain 2 and you're going to work 3 double crochets like so into the next chain 2 space. You're going to chain 2 and you're going to work another 3, 1, 2, 3, okay, like that. You're going to chain 2 and you're going to work a slip stitch into that last or double crochet number 3, and you're going to do a single crochet into the single crochet and a slip stitch into the first double crochet of the next set. I think you got that. Okay, chain 2 and 3 double crochets into the chain 2 space between those first 3 double crochets, and you're going to chain 2. And if I'm shaking slightly, it's only because I had 2 cups of coffee almost directly after each other, which is not a good idea. Okay, and then you're going to slip stitch 1, 2, 3. So you're going to slip stitch into that third double crochet, and you're going to single crochet into that single crochet that you did there. You're going to slip stitch into that first double crochet and then chain 2. So I think you've got it. Okay, and I shall see you at the round's end, which is of course round number 8. So I'll see you at the end of this round. And here I am on my the last leg of round number 8. So I've done my slip stitch into the double crochet, the first double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochets into the next chain 2. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, okay, and 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3 into that chain 2 space, same chain 2 space, chain 2, slip stitch into the third double crochet. Okay, and now because this is the end, I'm going to just slip stitch into that beginning stitch, and there we go, all done. Just my noisy 3. Hopefully you can see what I've done there. Okay, right, if you have the passion, then you can also just check your stitch count, and it should be 48 double crochets, 8 single crochets, and 48 chain 2. It's a lot of stitches. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. So you can just, if you want to check your stitches, you can actually go onto the pattern page and you can check them there. Okay, so that is the end of round number 8, and I shall see you at round number 9 at the beginning there. And here we are at round number 9. And round number 9, what we're going to do is something rather fancy. We're going to be working kind of behind our work like that. What you're going to do is you're going to find this little space here. So if you look at that, and you can see where you've done, and this is round number 4 and that's round number 5, so you can see where you've done the single crochet front post around that puff number 2. Okay, so in the pattern I call it puff number 2. So you're going to be working into that space just before the single crochet front post, and you're going to be working into the space just after the single crochet front post. So you're going to be missing those, going to be skipping those. We're not going to be involved in those 2 half double crochets on each side. So that stitch. Okay, so for this round number 9, I'm going to use Claret. It's a lovely, lovely deep red. Very beautiful. Also by Stylecraft, Special DK. And so as I was explaining where we're going to go, so we're going to kind of be working sort of behind, and you're going to be working 2 popcorns into that space to the right, one to the right of this single crochet front post that you worked over that second puff from round number 4. I'm quite proud of myself for remembering all of that. Oh gee whiz, I get so what have we got here? So we're going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's your first popcorn. So we're going to be doing a popcorn, and we're going to do a chain 1 to close, and then another chain. Then we're going to work another popcorn to the left of that single crochet front post. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just the traditional popcorn with 5 double crochets, or in UK terms that would be trebles. So then we're going to 3, 4, 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 chains. So we did the closing chain plus 4, and then we are going to connect this. So we're going to go where you did those 2 single crochets in round number 4. We're going to just do a single crochet into that, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chains, and we're going to pull that through to the back again, and we're going to do our 2 popcorns on either side of that center single crochet front post. I hope that makes sense. There is a method to my madness, as you shall see when we get to the end of this round. Okay, so we're going to do another 2 popcorns, chain 1, chain another one, and you'll be working another popcorn to the left of that single crochet front post. Then you're going to chain 4, and you're going to do a single crochet in between those 2 single crochets from round number 4. Okay, and I shall see you at the end of the round. Okay, so the end of round number 9, and your work is going to look like that at the back. Okay, so hopefully your work looks the same as mine. Okay, I'm going to, so what you're going to do is, to end this, you're just going to slip stitch into that joining space like so. Okay, and you're going to snip that off, do a nice slip knot there, make sure nothing comes. Okay, so you're going to have all your little tails. That's rather, so, you know, you can use any part of the pattern for other things as well. So every time I look at that, I think, oh, I can see another design for something else, maybe a beautiful crochet bowl. Anyway, you see, look, I'm just chatting, getting carried away. You're going to flip that over. Okay, and so you can see what I mean by work into the back of your work. Alright, because you've kind of worked. Then you're just going to see those little popcorns sticking out there. And so it's going to look like that. Your round number 9, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to pop them through. So you're going to pop them all through to the front like so. Okay, and that's your end of your round number 9. And there you go. Isn't that cute? Right, so there you go. I hope you can see these gorgeous colours, because honestly my camera, as I keep on saying, just does not do these Stylecraft colours justice. They're so vibrant. I mean, there you can see it as claret, but they're honestly like, they sort of sparkle. Okay, so that is the end of your round number 9, and I shall see you at round number 10, and that will be the end of the first part of the videos. So see you at round number 10. Okay, so round number 10, you're going to start with a puff stitch. Okay, with a puff stitch into your first 2 double crochets from round number 8, like that. So you're going to chain 1 to close your puff, and then an extra chain 1. Okay, and then you're going to work 1, 2, 3. So yarn over times 3, chain 1 to close, chain 1, and 1, 2, 3, chain 1 to close, chain 1. So you have 3 puffs into that chain 2 space. You skip over those 3 double crochets, and you're going to work 1, 2, 3, same puff sequence, closing chain, extra chain, 1, 2, 3, closing chain, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's for your picot. You're going to slip stitch into the top of your puff, you're going to chain 1, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, pull through, chain 1 to close, chain 1. Okay, so you're going to have that sort of thing going on there. Right, then you're going to skip 3 double, you're going to skip those 3 double crochets, and you're going to do 3 puffs. Okay, there's yarn over times 3, chain 1, extra chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 to close, extra chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 to close, and now you don't do an extra chain 1 after your last one. Okay, you're going to yarn over twice, and you're going to do a treble front post over your last treble front post, and then you're going to go straight into your next 2 chain space from round number 8. Oopsie, going off camera. Chain 1, not chain 1, but closing chain, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 to close, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 to close, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, into your next chain 2 space, chain 1 to close, chain 1, and then 1, 2, 3, chain 1 to close, okay, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the top of your puff, chain 1, and 1, Okay, so I've kind of gone on ahead, but as you can see, that's what it's going to look like. Okay, going to be doing your treble front posts. With your treble front posts, going to do the three puffs. Okay, separated by the chain one and your picot into the top there, and so on. Okay, remember when you have completed your last puff of each petal, not to do an extra single crochet, but to just launch straight into the treble and treble front post, and then when you finish the treble front post, to just kind of launch straight into the puff stitches like that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I shall see you at the end of round number 10, just to finish off. And then, as I said before, round number 10 is really the end of the first part of the square, and tomorrow is a public holiday, so I'm hoping I'll get a chance. It's Women's Day tomorrow in South Africa, the 9th of August, and I think my husband has something planned for me. I hope so, but I shall continue with the videos on Thursday and Friday, and hopefully have them all finished by the weekend, when I can then launch the pattern. But of course I'm speaking into the future now, because you probably already have the pattern, and that's why you're watching the video. Okay, so I'll see you at the end of round number 10. Okay, so here we are at the end of round number 10, and to close round number 10 you're just going to slip stitch into that little hole right at the top of your first puff stitch. And if everything went according to plan, then your piece should look like this. I'm not so sure about my colours, but anyway, we'll see how it works out as I go along. Okay, so right, so you have a look. You see you've got your 3 puffs separated by chain 1, and you've got your 3 puffs on the top with your picot. Okay, sitting over that. There we go, like that, and you've got your treble front post over your previous treble front post. Now when you lay your piece out flat like that, you'll see that it does that sort of little boppy thing, but that does eventually flatten out as your square becomes heavier. It kind of pulls that out, and that sort of begins to lie nice and flat. Okay, so there you go. It's the end of round number 10, and I shall see you at part number 2, and that will be then the beginning of round number 11. So have a great day further, and thanks for watching. See you soon.